Alright, the first thing we need to do in our antibiotics lab is label our petri dish. We're not going to label the lid because that can get switched up or changed or moved around. We're going to label the base where the agar is. So if you look closely, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 already labeled. So I'm just going to stick with that one. In the fourth part, I'm going to put a C because that's where my control is going to be. The control is not going to have any antibiotic on it. I'm going to have one plate for E. coli and the other plate for Bacillus subtilis. So, got my plates labeled. I'm ready for the next step. Welcome to our antibiotics lab. Now, we picked 3 antibiotics, we labeled our plates, and I'm ready to start. So on my petri dish, I have 1 for E. coli, I have 1 for Bacillus subtilis. I have them labeled 1, 2, 3 for my quadrants. Each part will have a specific antibiotic. I picked kanamycin, tetracycline, and erythromycin. We're going to leave the last open as a control, so we're not going to have any antibiotic here. We're just going to test to see that we can successfully grow the bacteria there. So I got my petri dishes labeled. I have my bacteria ready to go and get plated. I have my inoculation loops for spreading them around, and I have my 3 antibiotics. So first things first, let's get Bacillus subtilis. Get rid of the rest. Get rid of that. Now, E. coli. Set these off to the side. Now we're going to evenly distribute. Right now I just have a bacterial puddle and I want a film. So just carefully back and forth. And don't gouge the agar like I just did. Right now, it doesn't matter if I use the same loop because everything is the same right now. It's all the same agar, it's all the same bacteria. And now for E. coli. Static. Nice and gently moving it around. All right, now I'm gonna let it sit for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna put my kanamycin on the first one. So we'll pause. All right, kanamycin's first. Get my plates ready. Second one, tetracycline. Oops, got 2. erythromycin, number 3. All right, we're gonna let them incubate overnight at body temperature now, 37 degrees Celsius. So we're good to go. Day 1 is done. All right, it's data collection day. We have our E. coli plate and we have our Bacillus subtilis plate. We have quadrants 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the control. So we got our 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrants. A sketch. So sketch me out what you see in each quadrant. Or alternatively, take a picture like we have here. Then the zone of inhibition diameter. You got to measure in millimeters from one side of the zone of inhibition to the other one. This one looks about 31 millimeters for number 1 for the B subtilis. For antibiotic number 2, looks like about 15 millimeters. And for antibiotic number 3, I'd say about 25, 27? Yeah, about 27. And then for the control, 0 millimeters. There was nothing on the control. So, measured zone of inhibition diameter, sketch the quadrant, and then tell me is it sensitive, intermediate, or resistant to the antibiotic.